Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know who I am VanAdams. Tonight I am here in Hyattsville, Maryland, at the home of Balenciaga. I was here maybe, it was about 2 or 3 months ago for the season premiere of Scandal. It was the 3rd season, right?
Yeah.
3rd season of
Shout out to Olivia Pope.
Shout out to Olivia Pope. And it was that night in particular where I met these two young men for the first time, Redd and Poppa Balenciaga. And what really drew me into them was that particular night I was here to watch with my friends Dante and Nate. And Dante cooked for us. And I watched Redd, you fixed the plates for both of you two, and you brought it over to the table, or the couch, rather. And then Papa like fixed the drinks and brought it over to the couch for both of them. And you guys sort of like, y'all laid up under one another and you watched the show together, and I thought it was so affectionate and so loving, and it's very rare that I see that like with young couples. And I was wondering, like, are you guys like that all the time in public, or is it just something you guys sort of behind closed doors, are you always affectionate in that way?
I mean, just all the time, period. I mean, like, I'm a Cancer, so I'm real.
Oh, you're very emotional. Yeah. Oh wow, I've dated too. You're very emotional.
Yeah, so you know, a handful, but all the time, like, anytime we're around each other, we're definitely all about each other.
Like you just kissed Redd on his neck as we were prepping.
Yeah, like stuff like that, but it's just like, I guess, now I don't even really notice like they would do anything. Like even the night of Scandal, until like we actually had the conversation and you brought it up, yeah. it just like I didn't notice that that's what
you were doing. Yeah, because it's a part of your life.
Right.
You guys have been together for how long?
2 years. 2 years.
2 years consistent, or has there been
consistent?
No
breaks.
Consistent. No breaks.
No breaks. I think we've only.
That's amazing. Because 2 years is like 20 in these types of relationships, in same-sex relationships. Did you all meet here in DC, or you knew each other prior to, because neither one of you are from here, right?
No.
Where are you from?
I'm from New Orleans.
You're from New Orleans,
Louisiana.
Okay.
Saints fan, what's up? Who's that? Yeah.
And Redd?
Fayetteville, North Carolina.
And so you both came here for what reason?
I was ready just to get out the South. You know, I was just trying something new. Wanted to go somewhere. Stuff I don't think.
Like right out of high school?
No, I actually, I had moved to Houston for a little while, then I moved back to Louisiana. It was the little things going on with the place, the hotel I was working at. I work in the hospitality industry, so little things were going on with the hotel, so I was like, you know what, maybe this is my opportunity to just try something new. So I just booked the flight and
came here to DC.
Yeah.
But you and Redd, you decided to come here because
I needed to take away the safety net. Like I was
your family.
Yeah, my family, my friends. Like I mean, not popular as like the MVP of New Orleans, but I was I was pretty known in North Carolina. Like I was like kind of like double life living, so I had like a lot of straight friends, I had a lot of gay friends. I felt comfortable anywhere I could go in the state and like be fine. I lived in all the major cities. I went to college in Durham, North Carolina, to North Carolina Central. So I kind of was like at a point where it was like, I'm ready to like do something different. My grandmother had brain surgery, and so I moved back to my hometown for a little while. And like once she like got back on her feet and was up and running and stuff, I kind of like made the decision that it was time for me to do something different.
So basically, the both of you, when you moved here, it was kind of like your gay fathers that helped you make that transition.
Right.
Now, when you first came here, you were already in the house of Balenciaga.
I was.
And Redd, were you?
No.
No.
I wasn't.
Now the thing is, you know, a lot of people, especially like a lot of other gay men who are not a part of the ballroom, look down upon it. You know, you hear a lot of people say things like, you know, I wouldn't date a house queen, or people talk about, you know, as soon as they find out that you walk balls, you know, there's a lot of negative stigmas associated with it. I think because a lot of people aren't educated and don't understand, you know, the reasons why balls were created, or why houses exist. Yeah. And for you all, it's kind of special because, like, you live here with your gay father and your grandfather. Yeah, in the house of Balenciaga, and your boyfriend's here too. So do you two feel like, you know, in many ways that this is your family outside of your biological family?
Yeah,
definitely.
To be perfectly honest, I was the House of Balenciaga, and not just the houses, the members in it. Like they feel like family. They treat you like family. They check on you. They make sure you're all right. They make sure you're doing all right.
And I know Dante make sure that you stay on task with everything.
It's not about me just smiling in front of the judges or spinning and dipping on the floor. Like it's about like, are you working? Are you doing what you're supposed to do? Are you being a man? You know what I'm saying? Like,
were either of you pressured into joining? And because you both walk the same category, which is
pretty boy
realness, which pretty boy realness, you're being judged on
basically how well you look. Basically, you know, just well groomed.
Realness is being able to pass by day as a straight boy. Okay. And both of your fathers are pretty boy realness walkers, but neither one of you felt like pressured into doing it. It was something that you saw and you desired.
Yeah, it's definitely something that you want to do. I always say, especially with the ballroom scene, you get out of it what you put into it. You know, basically, like, you know, I came into this, when I looked at it, I wasn't thinking about, oh, blah, blah, blah. I was looking at it like, I'm joining this house. I looked at it more as a fraternity. Like, these are my brothers, you know, we're building a bond, you know, we're growing stronger together. So, you know, like David said, we're definitely like a family, because, like, you know, the Agas, anything that goes on with the Agas is going on with me, because that's really my family. And,
these are your brothers, your fathers, sisters.
Like, definitely, you know, I love my real family, of course, like, I take nothing from that, but I've grown bonds with the Agas that, you know, they're just a class, that's real family.
And the fact that both of you are in ballroom, aside from that, you know, both of you have very huge followings online, Instagram and otherwise.
Yeah.
And I know with a lot of couples, you know, there are certain couples have boundaries as far as social media is concerned. So it's like, well, you know, you can take pictures but not with your shirt off. Or you can respond to somebody saying something to you in your public comments, but I don't want you inboxing privately. Like, do you two have those types of rules to keep your relationship structured, or is it just kind of like, I trust my man not to?
It's a respect thing.
I trust it. That's the thing. Like, just don't make me look stupid.
That's our main thing, you know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's. Please.
I don't have any, like, I'm not gonna say, oh, don't do this, or don't do that, don't do that. I mean, just before Redd met me, Redd knew numerous people, like, online and stuff. You know, he had a following already from, you know, social media.
So you grew up, so growing up, before you even joined ballroom, you were very well known, popular, accepted. Neither one of you went through the whole teasing or being bullied or feeling.
Yeah. When I was like younger, because I mean, I'm kind of like a caterpillar story, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. So wait, so what I'm looking at now is like the butterfly?
It's coming, you know, I'm breaking out the cocoon and all that good stuff. But I mean, but to be honest, it makes this question a little more interesting. We met on Facebook.
Oh, so you met each other online.
Yeah.
And so now that you all exist as a couple and you've been together for 2 years, I do know that you all post pictures of each other.
Yeah.
But of course, that doesn't stop outside people from sending messages or sending pictures. I mean, is it something that you kind of just, in all honesty, like with the desires that exist, is it something you just really ignore because you're so in love with each other?
I mean, yeah, honestly, it doesn't bother me. I mean, I know how attractive Redd is. That's something that I knew, I mean, before we even got together. So I don't expect no one to just like not say anything to him or to just act like he doesn't exist. I mean, that's what it is. I just know, I know he's not gonna be all, you know, all back and forth with her or whatever, you know. I know that's not the case. I don't have to worry about that. Like, we're so honest with you, but like, I tell Redd everything, Redd tells me everything. Like, we talk, like, some of our conversations are probably even more than what average couples would have. Like, we're just really open because when we met, it was like, we started off as friends. Like, we talked a lot, you know, we were real honest with each other because I was way in Louisiana, he was here, so it was like...
Oh, so you guys really did meet before coming to DC?
Yeah.
So you all did not come to DC for each other?
No.
It
to DC
y'all
for
didn't,
better life.
and you didn't talk about that? Like, neither one of you knew the other was coming?
Yeah.
I found out through some friends that he was coming. We started talking on Facebook, and then like...
What year was this?
This was 2011. 2012. 2000. Well, like 11 going into 12.
Yeah.
So you all are going on 2 years.
Yeah, going on 2 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Got it. So this Christmas, was this your second Christmas together?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we were talking on Facebook. We stopped talking for a little while, and like I found out through the August that he was coming to DC. So I sent him a message and was like, "So you just gonna come by my city? Like you're not gonna say nothing to me? Like
you
now
you want to talk to me?"
And that's what he was saying. Now you want to talk to me.
Okay.
So then it kind of like when he came, it was like, okay, like you here, you know what I'm saying? Like we met at a cookout.
Yeah.
Like
At Carlos cookout. Yeah.
So it is possible for two guys or two people, period, to meet online and for love to really happen. Do your parents, like, does your family back home know about Redd and vice versa? Is it?
My mom, yeah, she's all on my Facebook all day, like just commenting on all his pictures, just everything.
Oh, wow.
Because actually, on the 25th of January, we're planning for them to meet. And
For the family?
for him to meet my family. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. For the
You're
first
going
time.
home or they're coming here?
Oh, we're gonna go back to my grandfather's retirement party.
Are you nervous?
A little bit, but I never
You don't have to
been
be
like down.
We FaceTime and everything before.
But yeah, like I talked to his
yeah.
mom on FaceTime, and like I met his cousin. Like his cousin moved up here.
Yeah.
And she lives in Virginia. Like I met her, and I met his aunt. And, like I done met some of his family. I just haven't met like his mom.
Yeah.
The mom is the big thing, you know.
That is the big deal. You have a very close relationship.
Yeah, me and mom are extremely close. Like, that's my best friend.
Yeah, your mom was born just as I am.
Yeah.
And you're very open with your mother and
Now. I grew up in a military family.
Oh, okay.
Like my mom, she's like my mom is real like cool, open, you know what I'm saying? My dad, he's cool, he's open too, he just need to know what's going on.
So you were raised in a household with both your parents?
Yeah, my parents have been married for 24 years.
Ah, okay. And so you never, did you come out to them before you moved here?
Nah, I actually.
And you did not either?
Oh no, yeah, no, I came out a long time ago.
Teenagers, like 12, 13?
Yeah, 12, 13, they
Old
did.
school.
And you waited until you were kind of out of the house to not have to deal with that pressure?
Last Christmas.
Wow.
When I told my dad. I
Okay.
told my mom a little while ago, but we got worried about that. She knew though.
She already knew, was kind of just waiting for you to come out.
No, she didn't. Well, she didn't really know. She had an idea, but her idea was, well, you don't ever bring no girls around. You don't ever talk about no girls.
Same thing with me. That's
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but I think she was a little relieved that I don't, for lack of a better term, like I was more on the, like she still could see her son.
I know what you
know
mean.
what I'm saying? So
I know what
it
you
was
mean.
like,
I think it's easier for some parents when their son isn't so flamboyant.
Yeah.
It makes it a lot more comfortable for them to kind of deal.
Yeah. But but then again, she knows about the ballroom scene.
She knows you walk balls.
Mm-hmm.
She knows
what the housewife is.
Yeah. And so they know what that means.
Yeah.
And they've seen video footage or
Yeah.
photos and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I do realize that obviously someone has talked to you two about, when you do fuss and when you do fight, not putting that online.
Yeah.
I don't follow either one of you yet, but I've never really heard negative things about you two. Not even from Dante or anyone. Like, so is that a conscious decision, like between you two, that we're not going to put our business on Facebook, we're not going to put our business on Instagram? Do y'all consciously decide that?
Yeah, I think.
Right.
It was before we even got like in this situation. I think like we both carried ourselves well online. Period. As far as like not putting out negative business or just not being very. If something's going on in my life that I don't want you to know, I'm not going to put it on Facebook. That's really my personal life.
Okay.
So I mean.
So you make a conscious effort to keep your private life your private life.
Right.
I just don't believe in celebrating. Not celebrating, but like parading my downfalls or me being upset on Facebook. Like, first of all, I got 600-700 friends I don't even know.
Yeah.
So like, I don't need 3 people sitting around talking about my business or like, did you know that Redd XYZ today or him and Poppa was fussing on Facebook? Like that's not a good look on anybody's part.
I think it's amazing because a lot of young guys don't have that notion of you know, keeping what goes on between me and my partner. I mean,
Well, whose else business is it?
You know, right. But how do you all really deal with it between one another? Like, I mean, you're still human, so when Papa says or does something that really makes you feel some kind of way, and vice versa, do you all go through those periods where you don't talk for hours, or is it because I can't believe that every single time stuff goes wrong, y'all actually come to immediately to talk?
No, I mean we argue. I argue.
So you are more the fuss.
I guess you can say that. Well, I'll take that. I guess.
Is that true?
No. Yeah, no, but I mean, yeah, we fuss. I don't say go hours, like hours. I mean, we probably go like an hour maybe. You know.
Yeah.
But
The thing is, like when we fuss, somebody's always trying. Like somebody's always trying to.
We take turns. Like if David's upset, if David's like completely mad and going crazy, I'm not gonna go crazy with him. You know, we just take turns. Like we allow each other to vent in moments. Like if you know you frustrated about it work or anything, and I'm doing something that I know is not what you want me to do at this point, and you know you just you know we go back and forth for a little bit. But if he's already at a 10, I'm not gonna meet him at 10.
So you kind of decided in your life that, I mean, anything that y'all deal with, anything you face, you're willing to work through that.
Yeah, definitely. That was.
I think it would be unfair to each other to not. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to say like.
I know I'm not gonna lose my boyfriend.
Yeah,
so it's like, what other option do I have?
Yeah, like if I would do.
So that's not even an option. Like breaking up.
No, I don't see it in like.
You guys are together for the most part every single day. You know, and the thing is, when I saw y'all for the first time, like, it reminded me, because I existed in a 4-year relationship, that's my longest. And I was probably, how old are you now, Pop? 24? 23, okay. And that's how young I was as well. And we lived together, we went to school together, we shared a car, we had a bank account together. And it was like, you know, seeing you two kind of reminded me of that. Do you all ever think, like, you know, we're gonna be together forever? Do you want to talk about marriage? Because now that's a possibility. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that in your mind like something that
David doesn't want to be married.
Oh, you don't believe in that? No, it's okay if you don't believe in that.
Yes, I do. I do want to get married.
I think we just have we have a while to go before we get to that. That's definitely something
of course.
I would do. If it was up to me, we'll go tomorrow.
You would be married already.
Yeah, but you know,
So
David's
you-
more of a-
Oh, so you're like my mother. Y'all are very sensitive and nurturing, and you're a Cancer. Y'all, oh God, I'm dated 2 Cancer men, so I know what that is. Yeah, like y'all love, like majorly hard.
I don't know what more I could want, like at this point. And you know, I mean, I know it's probably a lot to say, but it's a truth.
No, that's a big statement.
I'm building like I've been through a lot in my life. So at this point in my life, the way my thinking, just everything in my life is going, I want this to continue to go in this direction. You know, because I'm definitely growing. I'm growing in so many ways to it's crazy. And like David's here, like he told me now, he's doing this with me. So like I don't ever want it to be the point like, you know, whenever we're at a point when he has his own store and you know I'm running my own hotel and everything, like I still see like me running home to call him or him have a dinner. You know, I need to have that, because if I don't,
I love that you. Oh man, okay. You just mentioned that. So you want to own your own store?
I would.
He wants you to own your own retail.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I mean, there's a couple of ventures that I'm in, but it's always to move forward in the professional field, whatever I'm doing.
And you're in like hotel hospitality management.
Yeah,
Okay, that's my brother's field as well. And not only are you two, because you said you graduated from college in.
I didn't graduate,
But you went.
Yeah. I
Okay. And you've graduated high school.
Yeah.
Done. Okay. But both of you have aspirations to own your own businesses.
definitely.
And then still live and exist side by side and helping one another. The thing is, well, Papa's already called you David, so I can call you David. And your real name?
I'm Chris.
You're Chris.
Yeah.
Just now you had said, or David said, that him owning his own store is what you wanted, or what you want for him.
Right.
In y'all's relationship, because one thing that I already noticed, and I hope you guys don't mind me bringing this up, but like just in the structuring of this interview, Chris was the one pretty much doing a lot of the back and forth communicating with me. And just like when I first met you all, Chris was the one doing most of the talking. So is that how your relationship is sort of structured, where Chris sort of, I don't want to say the leader, but does it piggyback, meaning like he's a little bit more social, but then you're stronger in other ways? Is that? Because I'm only going based on perception.
Right, yeah, no. I mean, from perception, I think that that's probably what it would like, but I think David is more of the behind the scenes. Like as far as
he's a silent.
Like as far as I would say, like, this is how this, me and us sitting here talking, but this is something we've already probably ran out. I know how he would feel about it, so it's more like, I guess I'm just the messenger, so it's kind of like,
okay.
I know how he would, kind of think or whatever, but it's more so we take turns and like, it's different things. Like, I guess you say more with being social and things like, I guess that's more my thing, so,
Are you uncomfortable with that at all? That he is more social than you are? Like, because that means it draws attention.
No, I think that I'm human. I get jealous when you're in your phone too much, or you know what I'm saying, like, or I mean, just normal things that people would get jealous over. But at the same time, like, I have to remember it's my boyfriend. I trust him. I love him. Like, and I mean, I'm on social networks too. I'm social too, so I can't like. I have friends. You know what I'm saying. I'm in groups and stuff, so I can't like come too hard on him. But like, you know what I'm saying. I always try and evaluate any way I approach a situation.
When y'all are out though, like when you two. Like when you're in a club environment or you're at a ball, do you see Poppa differently? Like does he change according to element? You know how some people, you know what I mean? Right, like people change according to element. Just like when this camera's off, if somebody saw you out, they would probably think the same thing I thought when I first met you. It's like, yes, you're very quiet, you're very kind of just like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of, you can turn yourself on and turn yourself off. But when you guys come behind closed doors, obviously you call each other by your biological names, but it's also, like during a day, because both of you work full-time jobs, like how often do you all check in with each other? Is it like a constant?
I'm a little bad with it, like
You're bad as in too much or not enough?
Yeah, probably too much. In some aspects it'd be too much, but when I kind of like, before we even
You're canceled now,
yeah,
so I know how they are.
Like, as far as things like, if you're at work, that's fine, you work, but if like you're off and I'm at work or you're off, whatever, if I go an hour without hearing from my boyfriend, I'm like, I'm not okay. I'm not gonna say I'm not okay with it, but I just,
it makes
I want to, like I said, I never want to be a disconnect with my boyfriend. Like if anything goes on, like an hour's a long time, a lot can happen. So, I just like to, always touch bases, especially if I'm able to. If my phone is in my hand, I'm Facebooking, I'm Instagramming, I'm gonna text you. Even if you're at work, I'll text you. You probably get like 10 or 11 messages by the time.
In an 8-hour day.
Right, yeah, just to check in. But I mean, I like talking to David. Like I'm still as into David as I was when I wasn't here. Like when we were just on FaceTime and stuff, like I'm still like.
Meaning when you were living in Louisiana?
Yeah, when I was living in Louisiana, and he was actually here in DC.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But,
Okay.
like I mean, I like talking to him. That's my date.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, this is my first serious relationship.
Okay.
Like before Poppa, I dated this girl in high school, and like going into my freshman year of college, and after that, I was kind of just chilling, doing me, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, so to get into a relationship with somebody who requires, for lack of a better term, a lot of attention, it's kind of like, at first it was like, oh shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta text him all the time, but I guess I would say it's I gotta versus I wanted. Like, I wanted to text him all the time, or I wanted to talk to him all the time, and I liked that he was hitting me up all the time. Now, sometimes if I don't get to it fast enough, or if I don't, you know what I'm saying, if I see it, I gotta respond later. It's like, oh, you read my message? But at the same time, it's like I still like that. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you, seriously, just from sitting here talking to you all, what you two have is ideally what everybody wants. Like even at this point in my life, like it really is what I want. It's just really, I think it's hard sometimes when you have been, I don't know, like you said, you've only had one other relationship other than that, so you're not dealing with a lot of past disappointments and hurt.
But I also don't have a precedent to base it off of.
Right.
So
I'm
kind of just winging it.
Poppa is Redd.
No, I actually I was in a previous relationship for 3 years.
Okay.
Before Redd, I had been out of that relationship for about 2 years.
So you were in one for 3, out for 2 before you met him.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my first serious relationship, and I was young. I was real young, and it was everything that this is not. You know, like, and I always say, even when I first met, Redd, like I always say, he's just like that person without all the craziness, without all, like, you know,
I had to find the silver lining in that.
Okay.
At first.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not like nobody else.
Yeah, you know, and that's like,
but his stronger qualities and characteristics.
Right. When I say that, I mean just how how I felt for that person. David felt in all of that, except for I didn't have to deal with the constant fuss and the, you know, everything that came with that. You know, I was more so it was just real regular. Like, he was just like, he was willing. David was willing. Like, and I was just like.
And that's what a lot of guys want. Like somebody who, at the time, you obviously were attracted to him, but drawn to the possibility of this. You know, that's I think what it takes, the desire.
And it's you know, and it's not perfect. Like, you know, like I said, we argue. You know, we have disagreements. We're not going to agree on a lot, but I think me and David both have in our minds that this is what a relationship is. A relationship is not an easy thing. You know, like, it's easy to be single, like we always say, you know, whatever, but to be in a relationship is hard. Like,
being in DC, which is a major city, especially for gay men, like black gay men, I mean, do you all see the vultures and the vampires that come at you from different directions trying to destroy what you have? Because, I mean, there are so many bitter men who literally, I mean, they live their lives to destroy.
Right.
I mean, so, but the two of you, like, when things happen, you're open with each other to discuss, be like, this is what happened today.
Yeah.
Before it hits the fan, you two will come to each other and
I made a vow to myself, like, even before, like, after my last relationship, like, no one will ever be able to tell, and he'll tell you this because I'm really, really big on this, no one will ever be able to tell my boyfriend something that I haven't already told him. And good aspect, bad, just anything. If I receive anything that goes on in my life, this man is going to know first. Because let's say, like, if we're not all around each other, and I told you something, or you guys went to something, and he's here and you just said, and he's like, you know, what's going on? You know,
never want to put him in that situation.
I never ever, because, you know, I've been in that situation. I know that feeling. You know, David, on the other hand, like, I don't want him to have to go through a lot of things that I learned from my first situation. So, you know,
I think that's a big plus. The fact that even though David, this is his first major relationship, the fact that you existed in something for 3 years, maybe that's why, the way that I see it, you sort of lead so externally. Yeah. You know what I mean? Even though David is sort of like the silent strength. Yeah. I think it comes with your previous experience. With any couple, if one person has a little more relationship experience, you're going to kind of like take the lead with that. You two were lucky enough, blessed enough, really, to find each other online. And, you know, a lot of people who yearn to have relationships or to meet as they would consider the man of their dreams, do you all ever advise your friends to, like, look for love, or to kind of just sit back and wait for it to find them?
I always say, like, I always tell them, and this is like straight up, like, drop like whatever expectations you have of this like dream person or like this fictional person that you build in your head. Like, never lower your standards, but don't keep searching for this thing that you feel like is perfect for you, because you'll never know. Like, if I would have been waiting around for like the model or the perfect man, I might have missed out on my opportunity. And like,
which was Poppa.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and if you miss out on your opportunity, you never know what's perfect for you because you never had it. So,
and I would say it's more so, like, again, you get in what you put in. Like, you know, if this is someone you meet and you know you really want to pursue them, then you make that happen. You know, it's like, if you're not trying, then your relationship not gonna just all out of sky. You know, you have to just try. You know, even if that person is not who you think, at least you can say you put your all into it. Like,
so trying as in actually going out on dates and, and stepping out of your comfort zone, kind of maybe dating people who you normally wouldn't.
Right. Yeah, and also communicate. Like, you know, a lot of times, like,
because y'all were long distance.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times, you know, people will start talking to someone, and then like after a couple of weeks or one day, it's like they'll be over it. Right. But you know, you're going to get over it, but you just keep going. You know, when you keep going, that's when you start noticing more things, and you know, start opening your eyes up to who the person really is. Because still in that beginning, you're still putting on the whole Red Balenciaga, Poppa Balenciaga thing. You know, you kind of got to break that down to David and Chris, and you know, like I say, it's levels.
We would have listened to half of the bullshit that came our way about don't talk to him or don't do this or don't do that.
But a lot of people weren't supportive.
A lot of people weren't supportive.
You know, Dante, Harold, you know, all the others, they were definitely supportive. So, you know, it was kind of, we had like a little bit of both. You know, and then by us also like learning to deal with situations kind of on the closed rapture, like just between us, it made things a lot better too, because we kind of closed everybody out, and it gave like, this is what we're going to do. You know, we have to.
And then when we finished working on it, we brought it back to everybody.
We came back.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is real love here. This is Poppa and Redd Balenciaga, Chris and David. I hope that by watching them and listening to them, that not only are you inspired and you to still believe in love, but to realize that regardless of how people look on the outside or certain things you may perceive about them or their way of life, there's always a story underneath. And these two beautiful young men just shared theirs with us. So I want to say good night and wish you all a beautiful 2014.